the body is just really exciting to me. And when I get these pieces in this chakra, to me, it was the lungs that just like, wow. Because we came from this heart space, and we were talking about the heart and the muscle that the heart is, how it beats and how it lives in its heart space, the sac that it lives in, and the space around it. But guess what? The lungs don't have any muscle. There is no muscle in the lungs. So the lungs are depending on your chest cavity, but mainly on your diaphragm. And there has to be movement all the time. All the time. There has to be movement for the lungs to work properly. And the lungs can't create it. They are not muscle. So it's such a really wonderful dynamic that's happening here. So we have the lungs in our chest, and the left is smaller than the right. The right actually has 3 lobes, and the left only has 2. Most of the time, the heart is right there with the lungs on the left side. And I actually knew somebody who had a baby, and the little baby was born with her heart on the right side. And what all the doctors said was, she's going to have a really hard time breathing. And I was like, I was trying to figure out that connection. And then it just made sense, okay, about this space. But why do we only have 2 lobes on the left side? Is it just to make room for the heart? They've done, they've looked really, really closely at the lungs, and they feel like, yes, we actually had 3 lobes on the left side. And then slowly it just kind of disappeared. So is that going to happen on the other side? I really hope not. And another really cool physiology thing is working at CSU for 20 years, I worked in a lab that studied taste. Well, guess what? There's taste receptors in the lungs. Isn't that cool? So when you consume something bitter, what happens? Your lungs know that, and they relax. So evolutionarily, that to me says we're trying to take care of ourselves. If the bitter receptor, really researchers believe that it came about to protect us from eating poisonous substances. So we have a high concentration of bitter taste receptors at the back of the tongue. So, man, if anything gets into the throat area and it tastes bitter, we want to spit it out. But a lot of poisons constrict the lungs, stop you from breathing. But if they have taste receptors in them, it automatically allows them to relax. And so scientists are now using that to our advantage to treat asthma. You could give somebody bitter water and watch their lungs relax.